It's a privilege to speak on behalf of Jim, and the words come easily. We arrived the same year here at VES. Our advisory has been a big part of our lives together here. And in that time, we have experienced a small amount of turnover. It just happened that way, and we've gotten to know each other well. So it made sense to me to shine a light on Jim from the standpoint of the advisory. So Jim, here are a few thoughts and words. Thank you, Mr. Aldrich, for the picture. A few thoughts and words from the guys that you see in front of you. If Alex had to sing a karaoke song for you, it would be Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire." If Caden made you a t-shirt, it would say "Mr. President and former RA liaison." If Bill says, "You are the first person who made me remember the day when King Alaric I invaded northern Italy," is actually your birthday. Some of these things I don't understand either. Ryan says, "I think Jim's greatest gift is natural trusting, sense of responsibility. He served leadership roles in so many teams, clubs, and also the student council. It's hard to imagine a VES without Jim Smith, since in many occasions his motivation is the key to keeping everything going well." And Ethan says, "My favorite person to talk to by the campfire about hilarious politics, life of a president, party planner, and the best quote and idea book ever. Enjoy life in Gary, Missouri, brother." Jim, I've enjoyed watching your relationships with this group of guys grow. They speak to your prowess as a leader and caregiver here at VES. It is accurate to characterize Jim's experience here as a contributor, leader, source of ideas, and catalyst for school events. These are outward-facing things, which speaks to the way in which he has made the most of his experience here at VES. I'll end with a quick story that shines a light on a side we may not see as often. Back in November at Woodbury, warming up for the state cross-country meet, I see something written on Jim's forearm. It's 5 letters, COLIN, and if you look closely, that's a picture of, we affectionately remember Colin Walsh as Uncle Colin in our advisory, and Jim had the word Colin on his arm. In that moment, I understood that Jim is the kind of person that takes the time to understand the passion of people around him, position himself to be influenced by them, and there is strength in that vulnerability. So I will end with Colin's contribution to the story. Master of the Irish jig, Harrison Irby impersonator, Mr. President, the chain of command. He makes us all laugh. He's America's guy, always there to lend a helping hand. His assertive, charismatic personality is the perfect 1-2 punch to leave any problem running for cover. Jim Smith, we look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Well, I was thinking about using a microphone, but it's on. Hello? Oh.
Okay. So, wow, this is fun. I can walk around a little. It's nice. Okay, so let me just start off. I'm going to say something that may not make sense at first. I'm going to say I believe that it is possible to live too quickly. I myself have lived too quickly. I'm at the end of 4 years here at VES, and it's really just flown by. At least for the first 2 years, I kept my head down. I just kept pushing through. It just wasn't that much to me. And it calls to mind a song, and this is going to sound really cheesy, but I'm going to bring up a song in a council talk called Vienna. And the main message of that song is slow down and just take in the moment. Just take it in before it passes you by. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to slow down for a little bit, and I'm going to tell you about my 4 years here. So, for a little background, I'm from a town of 300. That's tiny. It's even smaller when you consider I'm homeschooled, and so, I haven't seen that many other people in my life, and now I'm seeing people. Okay, well, in this town, there are about 295 elderly people, and the other 5 are my family. So not exactly a recipe for social success. Now, I will not give you the details of how I decided to come here. You just need to know that I did, and the first day I got here was the first day of football preseason. And it's not because we misread the dates for when to drop your kid off. And I was built like I did, but we did not. I was a small little kid, 4 inches short. I had braces, and when I walked into the room, there were all these really tall guys, big muscles. Not me. Not me. Who? Yeah, little Jim Smith, he was terrified. He didn't know a single person. He didn't know how to talk to people. But he walked in, he sat down, he met the football coach, and his name was Coach Nicholson. And that guy, I can tell you, he was amazing. He said to me, he said, it was his first year, he said, "Jim, we're going to learn how to do this together." And I don't know why, but that really stuck out to me. That meant a lot, because he lowered himself down to my level, and literally and figuratively, and we just got to know each other. And from that season of football, I learned to love the people around me, the men in my life. And I got a newfound appreciation for others. And so, at the end of that football season, it was really sad, but I had a good group of friends, so even though we were leading the team, I was looking good. But it also wasn't a silver bullet for my social problems, because I knew some guys. How many girls do you think I knew? So in my time before VES, I'd say I knew 4 girls, 3 of those. Not yet. What a player. So, in the second half of the sophomore year, we get, okay, we go to the Christmas dance photo. How did I get here? There we go. Little football team, love it. All right, there we go. Smell it. Now this year, it was a Sadie Hawkins dance. I assume most people know what that means. So, this is one of the most embarrassing stories I have. Alright, so it's a Sadie Hawkins dance, and I don't talk to that many girls. So, I'm sitting there in honors bio. Well, I'm probably not going to get asked, and honestly, that doesn't matter. Right? Well, I'm packing up. Packing up my stuff. Walk out the door. Alright? All of a sudden, "Jim, do you want to go to the dance with me?" Okay, what? I'm shocked, and I freeze. What do I do? Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I said. And in the moment, I thought it was a really good answer. I thought it was so clever. I thought it gave me all the time I needed. I said, "I'll think about it." Don't ever say how come. What was I thinking? Well, I didn't know what that meant, because I'd never been to school before. So I walk out there, I'm like, "I nailed that. Yes, I have so much time to think about what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, yes, no, I don't know." Anyway, so 5 minutes later, I'm on the way to Ainsley, because I'm a freshman. And my sister, who's a senior, meets me there. She says, "Jim, what were you thinking?" Well, I wasn't. So she explains what that actually means, and I end up saying yes, and we go together. I said yes in an email. Also, don't do that. So we're still friends today, I hope. And then, almost as if it was karma, I go home for spring break, and we don't come back. It's COVID, and then I don't see anyone for 6 months, and I don't talk to anyone for 6 months. Sophomore year, pretty uneventful. Had some good class. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, sorry. This is so fun. I can say whatever I want. So sophomore year was fun. I made student council, got to make some great videos with Alex and Walter Mark. And the conditions weren't great. We ate outside, we slept outside. Slide, actually. Yeah, sophomore year was fun. There's Walter. So it wasn't great, but through all the bad, we still had our fun. We had a little prank war on Randolph for a while. I'm going to talk about Alex Turner for a second here. What to say about it? Every day I would wake up and there would be a giant puddle in my floor on Randolph, like right in the doorway. So I'd walk out. It's awful. And then another time we put a banana in our ceiling tiles and it just stayed there for 2 months. And so they finally told us, and then Dave smashed it on his desk. So sophomore year flew by, really fun. Then junior year came, I was RA on Randolph, and it was, let me see, I was on the sophomore floor, and I visited my class whenever I could. I still felt a little separated though. The only other difference was I ran cross country, which turned out to be a great, yeah, there you go. I ran cross country and it turned out to be a great decision because I made a great friend out of Colin Walsh there, even though he snubbed me for most valuable player. It's okay, I forgive you, Colin. I loved all my classes. I had some of the best mental non-stress. I had no anxiety for the whole year. It was amazing. I loved it. And I ran for student council president and counselor, and obviously that ended pretty well. But then we got to the bell tower ceremony. And, I think that's hard, is what I learned. Because we had one the year before, and it wasn't that bad. But this year was different, and it wasn't just because I was losing so many friends. It was also because I was finally realizing that I wasn't ready to leave the school. I was realizing that maybe we all just don't know it, but for the first 3 years, we don't understand how little time we have together until we hit that last sprint of the senior year. And here I am in my senior year at a council talk I didn't expect I'd earn. So that's kind of how it's going. But I think we can get to that next slide. See, I haven't told you the 4th year. I said I'd tell you about all 4. So, how is it going? Well, I've gotten pretty good at tuning out the constant banging on the door and the high-pitched screams that are accompanied by living on a freshman dorm. But on a serious note, for the first semester, I was losing my mind. I had no plan for the future. All the stress and anxiety that I had freshman year was back 10 times as much. It was awful. It wasn't all bad, but it was pretty bad. And that would be exemplified in my lack of decision making. You see, because for example, it was over the summer, I was going to do cross country. Made sense to me. And then towards the end of the summer, I decided I need to play football. This is going to be my last chance to be with my friends, right? And then somewhere along the line, at the end of the football preseason, I started to doubt myself. I started thinking, man, I don't have any help to the team. I mean, do they even want me here, etc., right? Well, and then almost out of impulse, I just switched back to cross country. And that, I don't fully regret it, but I do regret it at the same time because, in all honesty, I felt so separate from my freshman year friends on the team already that football would have been how I made up for it. But I switched. So that is not necessarily a mistake, but a choice that I made. So I shared that with you. But now to get to what I've learned. See, I have a reputation at this school. And that reputation, once I leave it, will become a legacy. That's just how it works. That's how it works. That's how it's going to happen to all of you. You all have your various reputations, and you're all going to have to leave a legacy when you go. And so, for better or worse, these 4 years and whatever good or bad thing I've done, whatever people think of me, whatever I've said, that's going to stay behind. And it's going to stay behind for every single one of you, too. So, hopefully, I can leave at least one good thing this fall. So I'm going to say the 4 lessons that I've learned. I'm going to read them because I cannot memorize all of them. So first off, it's okay to be unhappy. But don't be consumed by it if you can not be. Things will go wrong, and you're never going to know whether each and every person likes you or not. Don't isolate yourself. Reach out to the people who you know have your back, because it's the only way that they're going to be able to help. Number 2, don't be consumed by self-doubt. Don't backtrack because of an impulse, and stick with your decisions. I made a mistake, and I'm giving you the opportunity to learn from it. I'm glad I did cross country the second year too, but I would have also been equally happy to have done football and ended it with my friends. My third one, try new things. Put yourself out there, and if it's possible to win it, then win it. But also, don't think that just because you have good grades, a big title, or some big trophy, that it's going to make you happy in the long run. Because it's not. It's just not. I am not happy every day just because I've got counselor. That doesn't make me a happier person. The only thing that can give you longer lasting happiness is living a fulfilling life. So be kind to other people, try new things, and talk to new people. And the fourth gets a little more serious. You're not going to live forever, so stop acting like it. You're not going to be in high school, so stop acting like it. Instead of wishing you were anywhere else, keeping your head down, pushing through till the end, enjoy this time to the fullest with your friends while you can be with them. Because yeah, sometimes school sucks. But the reality is that our time with those around us is limited, so try to leave a positive impact on those around you. Personally, I try and I fail all the time. And I'm sorry if you experience one of those failures, because Lord knows I mess up a lot. But I want to make a good impact. And so, I'm going to move on to my thank yous, because I imagine I've exhausted most of my time. To my family, thank you for pushing me through to the end, and praising me even when I don't want to be praised. To Coach Nicholson and Coach Ford, though I've only known you two for a very short time, I still think you're two of the most kind and supportive people I've ever met. To my D-free period, which is now the B-free period this year. That was D-free of junior year, sorry, I should have said that. Thank you. Even though I still don't like Taylor Swift, I feel much more cultured having been forced to listen to her for hours. To Vane, thank you for also not being ready to leave VES, because now I know I'm not alone anymore. To Brennan and Sims, thank you for letting me hang out in your room a lot junior year, and I'm sorry that you guys had to lose the legacy couch. Tad Hardison, thank you for saying happy birthday to my mom. She really appreciated that. To Dave Garko and Alex Kagan, thank you for tolerating me and my messy self as a roommate. To everyone else, if you take nothing else from this, remember this. Take it slow, because life is short. Finally, thank you, VES, for the best 4 years of my life so far.